What it do, YouTube, is the one and only B Shows. I just got done earlier today seeing Phantasm 4 First Steps. This is my very first movie review. Um, I don't think there's much spoilers to talk about in this movie. And if you go on internet, like websites like TikTok, it's already a good amount of stuff that's already been kind of leaked out there regarding like the post-credit scene. But before I start the video, start my thoughts on the overall movie, I will say this will contain spoilers. This is a full thoughts, full movie review for Fantastic Four. I will put this in the bio, but we're gonna talk about it first up, and just talk about my knowledge of Fantastic Four. Was Fantastic Four my favorite group, just the group in general? No, they're not my favorite group, but I will say I think it's pretty ridiculous that we have four. This is the fourth attempt to make the Fantastic Four movie. The first attempt was in 1994. That movie was just released to keep its rights, and then eventually got sold out to 20th Century Fox, where at the time before this movie, the best iteration of Fantastic Four with Chris Evans and Jessica Alba came out. Those movies are okay. I mean, they're my childhood movies. I liked them growing up, but they weren't like, there were things missing in those iterations. I think Doctor Doom, he was really done not good in any of those movies twice. Both of the movies wasn't that good. And I'm trying to think what else. But the cast, I think it was okay for its time. I think Chris Evans was a little bit older for Johnny. He's supposed to be but during that time though, they did like cast older people as high schoolers. So I guess that's okay. But yeah, those movies are okay. And then we get to 2015 Fantastic Four, which is known as one of the worst, Marvel movies ever. And that movie came out almost 10 years ago from this current movie. And I remember when that movie came out, it was, I did think it was going to be at least okay. I thought it had a chance to be better than the Tim Story ones with Chris Evans and all of them, but no, that didn't end up happening. So yeah, that was supposed to be, that 2015 Josh Trank Fantastic Four, it was actually supposed to cross over with the, they were actually supposed to cross over with the X-Men, this and that. So that movie completely bombed. And the day before the movie, Josh Trank, the director, literally said that I had a great version of the movie a year ago, but none of you guys will see it. That's just reality, though. That's literally what Josh Trank, the director of the movie, he tweeted that before. The tweet got deleted, of course, but once it's on the internet, anybody can screenshot this and that. But that's what he tweeted the day before the movie released. So, and it was rumors that the director was fighting with like Miles Teller, the actor that played Mr. Fantastic. This is a complete disaster. And then 2017 comes, 20th Century Fox. 20th Century Fox bought Disney bought 20th Century Fox, so that gave Disney the rights to incorporate Fantastic Four in the MCU. 2019 San Diego Comic-Con, Fantastic Four movie is announced to be directed by John Watts, the director of the Spider-Man movies. I think, was he a good choice before Matt Shakman? I believe that's his name. I think he was an okay choice. I really like Spider-Man Homecoming. That's one of my personal favorite MCU movies. It's very different, like the teenager aspect, very different from the rest of it. We actually get real teenagers, in the MCU. But that movie, I think Fantastic Four got delayed a couple times, but 2022 we get our official release date, and then a year later we get the cast, this and that, and now we're here, July 25th, 2025. We finally got the full movie, and it's been debated about Superman. I'm going to be honest, I think I like this movie more than Superman, but it's not that big of a difference. They're both quality made, reboots, this and that. But now let's really get into, what everybody came for. The full that's my prior knowledge on the Fantastic Four. That's what I think about the Fantastic Four. That's just a review on the Fantastic Four movies overall. They're not my favorite group, but like I said, The Incredibles is literally a good Fantastic Four movie. It makes no sense why it took this long. But let's get into the plot of the movie. The plot of the movie is that Galactus comes. Let me take that back. The Fantastic Four are already established team. They're on Earth 838, and like I said, they're already established team. They already got their powers, and they're already faced like villains from the comics, like the OGs, like Mole Man, They mentioned the Wizard, Red Ghost, who was supposed to be played by John Malkovich, who doesn't make an appearance in the movie. All his scenes are cut. And I'm trying to think, Wizard of the Frightful Four, if I didn't say him already. And the Mad Thinker, another classic Fantastic Four villain. But just a normal day, and then Silver Surfer comes and announces that Galactus is coming to devour the world. And after Silver Surfer makes their announcement, everybody's kind of freaking out. Fantastic Four, they just trace, kind of similar like the Rise of Silver Surfer, the 2007 movie. They trace his energy. They trace her energy. They trace her energy to go back to wherever she comes from, or to find the Galactus. They end up finding the base, and then Sue Storm is also pregnant during this time. That's like the first thing that happens in the movie is revealed. If you've seen the trailers, they already revealed that Franklin Richards was going to be in the movie, or that Sue was pregnant. She's pregnant. And then when they meet Galactus detects that, and he was like, I will spare your world. You give me Franklin Richards, because he's really powerful. He could be an heir to me. And I don't have to be starving if I have that child, instead. Yeah, if you exchange your word with a child, I don't have to keep starving, eating, and all that. So that's Galactus' proposal. They don't like it. So they go back to Earth. They tell everybody, make a public announcement that they rejected Galactus' request to give up Franklin Richards. And after that, they kind of struggle. One thing I do like, I think everybody has said this, and you look at other movie reviews, and one thing I will agree on, Pedro Pascal was not my first choice. Joseph Quinn, that was another controversial casting. I think everybody else, no one really had problems. Maybe the female Silver Surfer, but it's an alternate universe. They can still do the male Silver Surfer. They can still do him. But Pedro Pascal did really good, man. And one thing I would say, that the other Reed Richards, at least in live action, were lacking, like that paranoid. Like, he's so smart, he's paranoid about stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because he's just so smart. Like, anything can happen. He knows too much for his own good. I do like that aspect of the movie. And yeah, they basically get teleporter. They use a little teleporter, try to teleport Galactus into a different world. That's their plan. And that's the plan, to get rid of Galactus. So that's what they do. They evacuate all the city, all of New York City, lead them right to Times Square, use Franklin Richards as bait. They all take their turns going one-on-one. And they also get a translator to find out Silver Surfer's real name. And Human Torch, he asked that, can I be a hero like you did? And she just said that's not going to happen. The baby's the only way. So they bait Galactus. Galactus comes. Galactus looks amazing, by the way. It looks like Galactus. Grand in scale. He can change size. I wish we got a little bit more of him. That's one of the, if I were to get the negatives in the movie, that's what I would say. I wish we had a little bit more of him, because he's Galactus. Like, he's the main villain. Like, he's one of the best Marvel villains. We finally get to see him. Hopefully we see him Secret Wars. He was part of the original Secret Wars. But anyway, back to the plot. They bait him. They all take their turns fighting, and then Invisible Woman, she uses the last of her powers to push him to the portal. He did try to get out the portal, but Silver Surfer sacrificed herself, and that's the last we see is Silver Surfer and Galactus. The movie ends. They try to announce Franklin Richards as a fifth member of Fantastic Four. That's what the little announcers, reporters wanted them to do, but they rejected the request. And then they just, they just, like how they introduced in the beginning of the movie, as you can see the trailers. If I could edit it, I would. If I could edit in the video, I would. But they just all go in like a little podium, announce themselves. They announced themselves in the beginning, and now they're in another press conference, basically. And then that ends the movie. And then the mid-credit scene, there's two post-credit scenes. Let's talk about the minor one. They had a cartoon, Fantastic Four, since their 4 years of being heroes. They had a cartoon or whatever. We get to see that last one. That's whatever. But the mid-credit scene is 4 years later after the events of the movie. It's Sue Storm, Herbie, and Franklin. They are reading books. And as Sue try to get us another book, she sees Franklin playing with a mask figure with the Doctor Doom mask. It's Doctor Doom. Can't have a movie about Doctor Doom. Was it Robert Downey Jr.? Maybe. I don't know. So that's the mid-credit scene. That's the overall plot of the movie. Yeah, it's the best Fantastic Four movie. That's the plot of the movie. And just, think about I think my overall thoughts, if I were to like break down everything, if I were to give the plot, all that, if I were to rate the plot, I would say the plot is like an 8 out of 10. The best, yeah, the cast really did. They actually feel like a real family. I do think there's things, like I said, maybe I don't know if this is the only like kind of bad thing I could say about the movie that's on top of my head. I would probably say throughout the whole video is that I really didn't, I really wasn't sure about the runtime. Like maybe they could have done a little bit more. I don't know what up. Like John Malkovich, why was the scenes cut where it is that bad? Like this movie definitely doesn't overstay its welcome. So that, and yeah, that's perfect. So now we're getting back to like just the overall. I already talked about the plot, but and I kind of already rate the CGI and stuff. Yeah, CGI, like the retro future world, that was good. And I think there's always throughout these Marvel movies, it's always like, where's this hero when that happens? Like, why aren't the Avengers almost like more active? Like, of course, it's not really Avengers team right now in the current MCU, but there's been like complaints like, where's this team or that team? And I think a good idea was making them in a separate universe so they can get all the shine. They can face Galactus on their own, and then and Secret Wars, and now we're doing this whole multiverse saga. Even though the multiverse saga as a whole, it's not comparable to Infinity Saga. They do, but I think this movie does benefit that it is in the multiverse saga because they can be in their own separate universe and they can eventually cross over with the other heroes in Avengers Doomsday. So if I were to rate this movie, before I talk about like sequels, like what a sequel look like, what I think the team look like in Avengers Doomsday, I would say that I would give this movie, if it was a grade, I would give this movie a B plus. If it was a like out of 10, I would give like a 7.8. I think it's 7.8 out of 10, like right at an 8 out of 10. Like I said, it's just a little too short for me. Yeah, just a little too short for me. All the cast members do well. I don't really, if I were to like to rank all the Fantastic Four members like as like how interesting are, I think the Thing, like one thing different about the other movies too, the Thing, he actually likes being the Thing. Like, it might be a time he might have looked at his reflection, but overall, he's not complaining about reverting back to normal. That was a big subplot in the 2000s Fantastic Four movies. It wasn't really in this one. So, yeah, that's my overall grade for the movie. And now, just talk about, like, sequels, this and that. Of course, it's that Thunderbolts end credit scene. I thought maybe we would see them travel. There were theories about them traveling, or maybe the Galactus actually successfully destroyed their world. But that didn't happen in the movie. Yeah, that didn't happen. We didn't see that happen in the movie. But hey, it was fine. And if I were Avengers Doomsday, what I would do, I'm really excited seeing them interact with other characters. I would say that. Any theories? But I just think they will lead. They're gonna show. I think that should be one of the first fights in the movie. Is them. We got to December 2026 the Avengers Doomsday come out, so we got some time to really break down the videos. But does this movie deserve a sequel? Yes. Does this movie? How much is this money? How much money is this movie gonna make in the box office? I have no idea. Hopefully he's over. I would say hopefully like 700 million worldwide. I think that's fair. It definitely deserves. I think now it's been like almost 3 months since Thunderbolts came out. I think it definitely deserves to like break even and be more successful in that movie. But I would definitely recommend this movie. And sequels for Fantastic Four. I was always into like the big Marvel universe as a whole, so I'm always gonna talk about sequels. Who I like to see, maybe Annihilus, the Negative Zone. I think that would be a pretty good thing to do. But we gotta see what it plays out in Doomsday. That movie's gonna be. I'm finally glad we're getting an Avengers movie after 7 years. We should have had a Avengers Secret Invasion. That should have been an Avengers movie. But I can make a whole other video talking about the multiverse saga and all that. But like I said, my grade on the movie is a B plus, 7.8 out of 10. The best Fantastic Four movie, worth the wait. They definitely did their time there. Now is to see that's their first Fox technically is, I mean, last year we had Deadpool and Wolverine, but this is the first real like Fox the like first Fox production that Disney really got to do on their own, like own universe, this and that, you know, new cast. So yeah, they did a good job, man. They did a good job. I can't wait. I want to see more of these characters, you know, and I think we are. And these are definitely, you know, we've been talking about quality over quantity when it comes to these new MCU projects. This is definitely the quality, more quality. This is better projects. If I were rank, I think it's almost 40 MCU projects. I lost count at this point. I used to know about heart, but I don't. I'm not gonna lie. But it's in like, I would say like top 17 MCU movies. I would have to make a tier maker video sometime later in the near future to really break down that movie. But that's my overall thoughts on the movie. Yeah, I talked about the plot all well. Like I said, I will put a timestamp where we really get down and break down the movie. But that's my overall thoughts on the movie. Comment down below what you guys think, and any other MCU videos you like me to talk about. I will answer the comments. And like I said, my name is B Strohs. All socials are gonna be right here. I'm gonna give you guys a second to look at it. Those are all my socials. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.